Gordy here with TheTitleFight.com. Earlier, our very own Brandon Stubbs had the opportunity to top it up with Phoenix, Arizona resident and Mexican amateur boxing standout Sulem Urbina. We talked about her love for boxing, the relationship she has with her husband, who is also her coach, and how she is focusing on the 2016 Olympic Games.
All right, now, in the bio blast you sent over to us, it stated that you started, boxing when you were tagging along to the gym with your brothers when you were around 10 or so. Now, did you ever think at that age that you would be in the position you're in right now in your career and in your life?
You know what? Honestly, I didn't. I just picked up the sport because I liked working out. I liked staying active. But I never thought that boxing would be my life like it is now. I never thought I would be as dedicated as I am now. So I'm very lucky I found this gym, and that's how I learned the way of boxing.
Now, you've won, titles and tournaments here as an amateur. Tell us a little bit about how the mindset is to kind of prepare and to go and, to travel, kind of be a road warrior to these different tournaments in these different states across the country. What is your mindset, going into those? How do you prepare for those fights? Really not knowing who you're going to face until, days later or until you're deep into the tournament.
All I have to do is just make sure I put in the work in the gym. If I put in the work in the gym, I'm going to go in there in the mindset of that I can't lose. I don't want to lose, and I love to win, and I refuse to lose. I'm not going to let anybody come in here and just let my training go to waste for me to lose. So that's the mindset I go in there with. I'm always very competitive, and the better the people are in my bracket, the more it motivates me, because I know that if I have so many times with people in my weight class in the tournament, then it just pumps me up so much more.
Yeah, you said you're training and put in the work in the gym. We know that your husband Andrew Soto is also your coach. He works your corner for you now. Now, has it ever been a time to where you're in a fight after a round, you might not have had your best round, to where he just really digs in you and really gets at you, and then you kind of fall back and like, did he just say that? Do you ever have those moments to where he's like, I know he didn't just yell at me like that? Does that ever happen, given the dynamic of husband and wife and and trainer and fighter?
He was my coach way before we started our relationship. Our relationship was something that just blossomed out of nowhere. Neither of us had any idea when it just started, and from the start, we told one another that the gym was one thing and our relationship would be another. So in the gym, he gives me the instructions I need. He puts me into the hardest training I can get. He yells at me. He tortures me. But I know that it's all in the gym, and it's for me to be better. So at the beginning, I did have a bit of an issue, but as time went along, I learned that it was just business, and it's just in the gym, and outside the gym is a different relationship. It's kind of like having two separate people. It's like he's my coach when I'm in the gym, and he's my husband when we're outside. So I just have to separate both. Right now, we're doing a pretty good job at doing so.
Right on. Now, we know that you're an amateur, and your focus is still for the 2016 Olympics, correct?
Correct.
Now, with that, is it hard to maintain that focus and kind of keep that drive, given the fact that that's a while away now? Granted, you do have your qualifying tournaments and what have you. Is it tough to kind of keep that mind state and keep that tunnel vision towards that goal of 2016 Olympics?
Honestly, I have had some trouble in the past. Sometimes it's so hard for me to get fights that I kind of lose the drive to stay in the gym. But I always manage to overcome it. I always stay in the gym. I think the last 6-7 years that I've been in the gym, I've only had 1 week of break. So, I'm always in the gym, regardless whether I fight or not. I'm always in shape so that when I do get fights, I stay in there. And I'm lucky to have a very good family, friends in the gym, and my husband that support me so much that they just keep me motivated all the time. And training along with my little brother, who is a USA national champion, also gives me that drive to stay motivated all the time. And so I'm just grateful for that.
Now, you said you have trouble getting fights. That was actually going to be kind of a follow-up question of mine. I know that the plan is, after the Olympics to look to going pro. What do you think it'll take for women's boxing to really gain the traction it needs here in the States? Kind of in the same way that women's mixed martial arts has kind of gotten. What do you think needs to be done? How can boxing as a whole help the women's side of things go further uphill than what it currently is at?
I just think all women boxers, all the folks, we all gotta get together and start pushing the media, start getting people informed of what women's boxing is really, and getting promoters to start backing us up. Just really going after the media so that they can help get our word out there, and these promoters get interested in us. I think that's the start of it all.
Now, we also know that you're also attending classes, so you're also a student athlete now. Is that something that's also tough for you to balance as well, pursuing your education as well as training for a greater purpose and for the next level of the Olympics?
I really like going to school. I'm always eager to be learning something new. So honestly, for a while there, I was just doing boxing, just nothing but boxing. And now that I started school again, it's helping me balance out and not think all day about boxing. So it's kind of like giving me a break while I'm in class, and then after I get out of school, I go to the gym. So it's helping me actually balance both things out and not get overwhelmed with one thing or the other, because I'm thinking about school at one time, boxing at the other. So I'm not just stressing about boxing like I was before all day, waking up thinking just boxing, eating just boxing, and sleeping just boxing. Now I'm thinking about different things, so it's actually helping me out a lot.
So you think it's kind of helping you from being like burnout of one and not the other, just with you having two things to worry about, you're not going to get burnt out on school or get burnt out on boxing since you have both of them to kind of balance each other out?
Exactly. That's how I feel.
All right. Now, one big thing in boxing is we got here literally about a month away. We have the one. So we're getting everybody's opinion on it. But I'm going to pose a different question to you. What fight do you think is actually going to be the more entertaining? Lucas Matisse and Danny Garcia, or Mayweather and Canelo?
Mayweather and Canelo, that's going to be a very technical fight. But I'm guessing the bloody one and the one that everybody's just going to be odd about is going to be the Lucas Matisse and Garcia, because I know that these two guys, they're just going to go all out to just basically go kill each other. So I think the Matisse and Garcia one is going to be a little more exciting. But the Mayweather and Canelo one is just going to be so much more technique and more boxing, basically.
All right, we got a few more for you, and we're going to keep it fun here. So here's the thing. If you had to pick 4 people you want engraved in stone as your Mount Rushmore boxing, 4 people that made you fall in love with the sport, who would those 4 people be?
One of the greatest in Mexico, if not the greatest, of course, Cesar Chavez Sr. I love Juan Manuel Marquez. When I was little, I also grew up watching Constitute, and I always loved Miguel Cotto. He was one of my favorites too. So, I mean, just ever since I started boxing and I was watching boxing, I really looked out for those guys.
Okay, you're after my own heart with Miguel Cotto. That is my favorite fighter, flat out. No matter what's going on, I will stop whatever I'm doing to watch Cotto fight.
I love Cotto. Ever since I started boxing, I've always enjoyed watching him and just seeing him get so much better over the years, and just from when he was so young to finally achieving a world championship. He's been one of my favorites ever since. And even though he lost his last fight against Trout, I'm still his biggest fan. I still love him.
Absolutely. Now, when you're not training, what is one of your guilty pleasures food-wise that you would like, that you go out and you just binge on when you don't have to worry about weight, you don't have to worry about training? What is that guilty pleasure?
Chips. I love anything that's crunchy, and that's kind of like my biggest craving. Chips, definitely.
Some chips. Okay. All right. Well, let the people know, man. Where can they find you at? Where can fans follow you? You got a Twitter handle, Instagram, website, or anything?
Yes, of course. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Sulem Urbina, And on Instagram, also at Sulem Urbina, and my fan page on Facebook is Sulem Urbina.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking our time with us here at TheTitleFight.com. Best of luck to you here in your training here and get ready for the 2016 Olympics. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on you, and we'll make sure our fans know all about the whereabouts and what's going on with you, okay?
No, sounds good. Thank you so much for having me today.
All right, not a problem at all. You have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.